Hi guys, Fab here from Hoosh with another Marketo tip of the day. And today I'm going to be taking you through advanced tokens. So advanced tokens are really good when you've got information that needs to be used across different programs. So if you look at standard tokens, like for example, here I'm showing you an event program, you can see on my screen, and it's got what's called a local token. So a local token is the standard token. When you create a token in a program, it's a local token. It's called local because it's only accessible by that program. So it's not accessible outside. So it's local to the program. Now, the one I want to take you through today is what's called inherited tokens. So these are tokens that can be used outside of a program. And generally speaking, they're done at the folder level, and then they can be used by multiple programs within that folder or child folders of those folders. So it actually bubbles all the way down. So it's called inherited because you're actually inheriting it from the folder above or the folder of the folder. So like a subfolder of a folder that has the tokens. And in fact, that level goes all the way up to the top level folders in your marketing activities. So really handy if you've ever done any kind of marketing program or an initiative. So trade show or roadshow is a really good example where you'll have lots of different programs, engagement programs running to support that particular large scale event. And let's say you've got a convention center and you've got that address. Now, you could just put a venue address token in every program for that particular conference. But the problem is, let's say it needs to change or you want to clone last year's to now, you would have to go find that token in all those programs and update it, and guaranteed you'll forget one. And so the old address will pop up. So the better way to do that is to go and create a folder that groups all those particular programs. So let's just pick a random folder here. So this is actually 2 levels up, and I'm going to go into my tokens and create a token. So when I create a token in this folder, what will happen is it'll be local to that folder. So let's go venue address and just put 123. All right. So when I create that, you'll notice it's local to that folder, which is fine. That's normal. But if I go back to our particular event, and there could be multiple programs under this folder and this folder, etc. But they all have access. They all inherit access to, for example, this one. So this is actually a good example, right? So normally this my venue address would appear underneath, right? It would appear underneath the inherited because it would be inherited. But because I already have, and you might have noticed, a venue address, it's actually the local one has overridden the inherited one. Right. And so to give you an example of what I mean, if I delete this one, this is the local token that you saw before. Now it's going to go back to inherited. So this is not my token. It's not local. It's actually being created further up the chain of folders. And so that's a really good example because you might have a venue address that's used on a lot of different programs for a conference, but maybe one of those is using a different address. So you don't have to change everything. You could just create a token, give it the same name, venue address, and then whatever that is, so 456. And so it becomes an overridden token. So it means that the local value takes precedence over the tokens that are inherited if they're the same name. And so this gives you the perfect balance between being able to use tokens across multiple programs grouped up into a particular initiative like a conference or a trade show, but yet still having the control to be able to override that at folder and program level. So I could have overridden it at the folder level above because maybe there's one venue in that conference that is in a different location. So I could have overridden at the folder, and then all the programs underneath that are using venue address would be using that overridden one. But then further down in the program, let's say one program within that uses another third address that we don't have, you could override it there. Or you could even override it with the address that was the conference address. So you could still use the same value, but that's not a good idea. It's better to just override at the lowest level you need to. and not do that a second time, because it becomes a bit convoluted to find where if you're overriding too much, you're then creating a problem for yourself, because then you have to manually go and find where you've overridden this. But still, this tip is about advanced tokens, so I want to show you some advanced uses of tokens. And that's all I wanted to do. So that was the tip of the day, and hopefully that will help you build better programs, more clonable programs, save you a lot of manual time if you have to go and clone old programs or build larger scale larger scale initiatives where you have multiple programs that need to use the same tokens. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for the next one. This is daily, and then click here on the bottom left corner to subscribe, and a card should appear on the screen so you don't miss it. Until next time.